Hey everyone. This week I want to talk to you a little bit about what curriculum is. There are tons of definitions out there for what curriculum can be, but how I define it is it tells me what I'm going to teach, how I'm going to teach it, and it's a combination of my lessons, my activities, assessments, and all these things pulled together. Now you can buy curriculum, you can develop it on your own. You might have some already pre-made from you that is mandated that you teach. It's all different. Here is an example of some curriculum that I have gotten. It it's a textbook, but the textbook is not a student textbook, it is a teacher curriculum book. And there are different activities and assignments and assessments that students would do. And I have all these sticky notes because these are my notes on which ones are my favorites. I don't solely use this curriculum for this class. I have hand selected the ones I like. There's probably about 20 of them in there, so that's 20 different days. Now there are 178 school days, and I'm only using 20 of these. The other activities and lessons are made by me, pulled from other sites or other books or resources. I'm going to share my screen. And this curriculum I got from a training I went to, and it was how to use this curriculum and implement it into your classroom. This is actually the teacher cadet curriculum, and I use this in my Foundations of Teaching class. We go back to our syllabus. Um, First, I want to show you the frameworks. I'm going to stop my share, hide myself, so that way it won't be as distracting to you. Now you should be able to see the syllabus. So frameworks, I'm going to take you to the Arkansas Facts State website. Well, actually, this is a Dropbox. You can go to the website and then go through a bunch of different clicks and links to get here. But I just took the link and put it in the syllabus so it's easy to get to instead of going through all these different outlets. This is every single class under the FCS umbrella in Arkansas that you will be able to teach. Family FCSI, that's the 7th and 8th grader class. It's semester, leadership and service learning, fashion, advanced fashion. There are tons and tons of classes we can teach. So these are frameworks. I'm going to show you regular family and consumer sciences because just about every single person that teaches FCS is going to have to teach this, especially if you're in a small district and you're the only teacher. So before students can take any other class in high school related to FCS, they have to take this one first. It is now a prerequisite that they take this. And our frameworks, the meat of it, the main stuff you want are these standards. They tell you the topic or content you're supposed to be teaching. So this first one is over FCCLA, because once a student takes a semester of facts or is enrolled in facts, at any point they may now be a member of your FCCLA chapter. We talked a little bit about what that was in the weeks previous to this one. Um, so first, they will investigate history of FCCLA, evaluating its current role in personal development. So you would go over the history of FCCLA, when it was it funded or established, all the history of it, significant advance in the history of FCCLA, the colors, red and white emblem, what's our flower, what's the logo look like, and you would go through all this, more about FCCLA. Then we get into standard 2, which would be a whole nother topic apart from FCCLA. This one is about families, health, and relationships. So I'm actually teaching this unit right now with my uh, FCS class. We just got done talking about um, individualism and personal traits and characteristics that set them apart from other people. And we talked about manners and etiquette. And now we're fixing to move into um, peer pressure and cliques and unhealthy dating behaviors next week. And keep going through this performance through 2, and then we get to standard 3, and this is a whole new topic. This is um, establishing a well-maintained home, which is basically, most people call it the housing unit and the housing and interior design unit. 4 is the clothing unit, where you would talk about sewing, laundry, and you would eventually make some kind of clothing or sew with them in class in the lab. 5, that's the child development unit. 6 is our food nutrition unit. 7 is money management. 8, I call it careers. And then that's the end of this year-long FCS course. I'm not going to go through all of these courses because it would take hours and hours. But you understand that these are the courses, and whenever you open one, I'm going to open Life Fitness and Nutrition, that you see the standards and what is expected to be taught in each section, or I call them units of study. So that's how you know what content you're supposed to teach in a FCS class. The next thing I want to go over with you are the FCS courses. This was revised in October 2020. This is the list of all of our courses and our pathways. So this first program of study is clothing and housing and design. So this is the program, and these are under level 1, 2, and 3, the courses that align with this program. So the first class students would take would be the Family and Consumer Sciences for 1 year. And after they take that, then they're eligible to take Fashion and Interior Design the next year. And then the following year, they may now take Advanced Fashion and Interior Design. Underneath here are certifications that students should be earning in these courses, such as CPR and First Aid should be taught in the or earned in the FCS course, or you could do financial literacy. In Fashion and Interior Design, there's a Chief Architecture certification or Adobe Illustrator, because these are certifications that are industry recognized that would help students who are majoring in this or are going to go into this job field have a leg up or advantage over others when entering industry and workforce. And then in Advanced Fashion, you see again Chief Architecture. It's a different one. It's a certified apprentice, and it's the same thing, Adobe Illustrator. You could do one in one class, one in the other. That's up to the teacher teaching that pathway. Let me tell you about the one I'm teaching. I'm teaching Nutrition Science and Dietetics, and I teach Family Consumer Sciences. And then the other students after that, they can take Food Safety and Nutrition, and the certification I offer in my Food Safety and Nutrition class is ServSafe Food Handler, and I also give ServSafe Manager, which isn't on here, which is what managers have to have in order to become a manager at any kind of establishment that handles food. So grocery stores, restaurants, and concession stands, food trucks, cafeterias, places like that. The third course that we have, I don't teach this one, but we have it here at our schools so that my students can finish this pathway, is the Youth Apprenticeship. And that's where they, instead of coming to class every day, they come to class 1 day a week, but then the other 4 days they go to work. So they took food facts, food safety, got their certification. Remediation or intervention time, anything that you need an extra help with. Thank you. Sorry, that was the intercom interrupting. So So after they take food safety and nutrition, their next year they take the apprenticeship course where they would go to work at their grocery store or restaurant or wherever that they're employed instead of being at school. There are others offered. Pre-educator is one I'm working in. Lifespan and development, another teacher teaches that. But I teach the Foundations of Teaching course. And I'm hoping to add one of these others later on so that we can finish the whole pathway. The point of finishing a whole pathway is so that students can earn a completer cord, which is a little rope they get to wear at graduation. So if they take 3 of these classes in order, they get a completer cord, and they also get a little seal on their diploma as well. And it's something they can add to their resume. But I think the great things about these are these industry certifications that are valued at work and a lot of employers look for. And these cost a lot of money, but students are getting to take them for free from the school because the school's paying for these. And then the school gets reimbursed by the federal government. And those are all our courses we offer in our FCS department in Arkansas. Next thing, operational guides for FCS courses. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. Just want to show you the important stuff. So if programs are to be offered at your schools, they have to meet all of these. It's like a checklist they have to have. And if they have everything, then they're on this checklist and they're fully approved. If they don't, then they're conditionally approved, which they would be limited to funds, and eventually they might get phased out and programs closed in your school. So these are some things that that might cause that to happen, some safety violations.
It's now time to go to your remediation or intervention to the lab assigned.
If you don't have a CTSO established, this will happen. If you don't have a full program of study, meaning you don't offer 3 courses that are all in the same pathway like I just showed you. If you don't have the foundational course, so that main FCS course, you have to have students take that before any other class in our department. This is just some middle school stuff. They're not required, but they are there if you want. This is kind of what we already went over. This is in our operational guide. This is just a description of all the other things. If you're gonna have these classes listed in a handbook, then you would list this information so students could read about it before they know what they're getting into before they sign up for your courses. And sometimes this has to be listed on your syllabus or your school website. And that is all for the operational guide. The next thing I want to show you is the minimum equipment list. These are the items that are required to be in your classroom for your programs to work. This is the Chemistry of Foods course in Pathway. So they need all of these cooking things or cooking items, chemicals, because it's a Chemistry of Foods class. This is more for Chemistry of Foods. This one's for the Clothing and Housing and Design courses. They need a lot of sewing machines and sewing equipment, laptops, and this is the estimated cost of what they think it's going to cost to get all those things. But usually all this stuff will be in place already when you have found a job. Some stuff has to be updated depending on when things break or eventually phase out of service. This is consumer services, equipment they need, culinary arts, so much kitchen stuff, appliances, cookware, utensils. They have a lot of stuff. Family consumer. This is the middle school equipment list. This is all the stuff they need to have, which is all the cooking stuff and some technology. So they need some computers. They need some sewing stuff. So depending on what kind of pathway you're offering will let you know which one of these minimal equipment lists that you will need. And then this is the pre-educator one. I have this pathway too, and I have these things. I have laminator, printer, die cutting machine. That's the little shapes where they cut out letters and shapes for bulletin boards. Okay. And that is all the stuff I wanted to show you this week. So for the assignment for this one is going to be a little more difficult than what we've been doing. You're going to make your own unit plan. And I've put a blank template for you to use. So you can make a copy of that or download it and type into it. And I put one of my unit plans as an example. So you may look at it. So this is from the Family Consumer Sciences class. I don't know why that says teachers there. Let me take that off. Or it won't let me. Anyways, to be able to fill this out, you'll need to go back to those frameworks I showed you back here. Figure out which class you want to do. That's the first step. Pick a class. Any of these classes will do. So if you want to do lifespan, you would come to the lifespan frameworks. Second step, pick a standard. Mine was standard 2, so just don't use standard 2 because I already used that one in the facts class. So if you want to do standard 1 in lifespan, pick that one. Standard 1 right here. So all these that start with 1.1, 1.11, 1.112, all these go under standard 1. And you would stop whenever it changes to standard 2. So all of this, trying to highlight it, would go in your unit plan. Now, it took me years to get this whole document the way I wanted it to, so I don't expect yours to be as in-depth or detailed as mine. So just try as best as you can. So my goals, see these numbers? Where did I get these? I got these from this. These bold ones are the ones I grabbed and put here. Those are my goals for my students. Materials needed, easy. Once you figure out what you're doing, these are the supplies I'm going to need for this unit. How long is this unit going to last? I wanted my unit to last 4 weeks or a month. That's how long I think it's going to take. Understandings, you'll have to come up with this on your own. In my unit, students are going to understand the importance of healthy relationships versus unhealthy. I think that's important. And the other thing I think is important is knowing about individual health and not just your physical health, but emotional, social, and psychological. Essential questions, you'll have to make these up. What does a healthy relationship look like? That kind of ties into my understandings, my frameworks. What is your personal, why is personal health important? That ties into right here, up here. Now, when you're making yours, you might only be able to come up with one essential question, one understanding right now, and that's okay. Students will know, here's these with the numbers again. Where did I pull these? It's these right here in the white boxes. You can pull those, copy and paste. That's easy. That's what your students, what you want them to know. What will they be able to do? This is something you're going to have to figure out. And again, you might not have this many. You might just have one right now. So focus on getting one. Performance tasks, that's like a project you would have students do. Mine is students are going to make a brochure about the benefits of dating and unhealthy dating behaviors, and that's kind of like their biggest project for this unit. Other evidence, we're going to do other things besides this project. Discussions, tests I'm going to make. We're going to watch a video. We'll have a student notebook I grade, some research. There's that project, the dating brochure. We're going to write some thank you letters. This is some other stuff. You might not have a ton of stuff for this. Key criteria, SWILOs, that's school-wide learning outcomes. This is what I'm going to grade based upon. Teacher-made rubrics, I'm going to grade upon based upon rubrics that I'm going to create myself. This is the longest part, is the learning plan, which is also referred to sometimes as a pacing guide. It lists the day and what they're going to do that day. What are you going to do in class? And I have each day broke down. You don't have to have your specific date. You could put day 1, day 2, day 3. It just depends on how many weeks are you going to spend on your unit. It might be 2 weeks. It might be 8 weeks. That's up to you. How long do you think it's going to take you to teach all this content? So you see most days are about the same. I started out with a bell ringer, a pre-test, and then we're going to go over vocab. And that's going to take 50 minutes. That's it. Day 2, bell ringer. We're going to look at a PowerPoint and some notes. Draw a pig. That only makes sense to me because that's an activity I do with them. So, and then they're going to take a personality quiz. It's a little quiz online I like for them to use to figure out what kind of personalities they have. Now, you do not have to have the PowerPoint and the notes done. You do not have to have this, you don't have to actually go and make your activities. Just come up with the idea that you're going to show a video one day, or I'm going to have them draw a cartoon one day. It's up to you. Again, I don't expect it to be as fully detailed as this. Just try. This is your first big project we're doing here, so just try and see how far you can get with it. I look forward to looking at everybody's stuff. Thank you.